Let me show you some tips and tricks for Google Pixel 9a, and we're gonna start with the Photos app, which is pretty much the gallery on this phone. If you like to edit your photos, you might be happy to hear that we have a magic eraser and a tool that allows you to erase pretty much anything from the photo. So over here in this case we need to go to tools, and then we have this magic eraser option, and then first we might get some suggestions made by the phone what could have been removed, but of course we can just turn or actually revert these changes in case we don't want them. We can select the area that should around the object that should be removed, and there we go, it is gone. In case it doesn't look that well, you can still select the area again in order to try to make it look a little bit better. Besides that, we have an option that allows us to hide photos and videos, and in order to do so you can, for example, press and hold your finger on the photo. Let's select multiple things, I also included a video, and then here we can scroll until you find move to locked folder, and then confirm that you want to move it. So if you did this for the first time, you might need to set it up, but this is how it looks like. We now just moved to the locked folder. In order to find the locked folder, we need to go to collections over here and then scroll down to find the locked option at the bottom. Unlock it with your fingerprint, for example, or the screen lock password, and over here we can find everything that is hidden. So these photos and videos won't appear in the main gallery over here. On your home screen and the app drawer, you might be able to find this, or actually these apps over here, which they change pretty much every time you do something on the phone. So these are app suggestions. Also here we also have these app suggestions, and they can be, well, both enabled or disabled depending whether you like them or not. If you want to do that, you need to simply press and hold your finger on an empty space in the home screen, go to the home screen settings, then over here choose suggestions, and we can disable suggestions on home screen as well as suggestions in the app drawer. So now if we go back, I actually have my selected apps attached to the bottom that I have chosen by myself, and the app suggestions that we have in the app drawer are no longer there. Now we're gonna go to the settings. Over here, if you choose sound and vibration, you should be able to find, for example, the now playing option, which is a music detector, to put it in a simple words, and it works pretty much all the time. Whenever the phone detects that there is a song playing somewhere near you, then you can get the information about the song in the lock screen. So you don't have to use any song recognition app or anything like that in order to look for a song. In that case, you can just simply open the lock screen to be able to find the information about the song. Over here we also have the notifications, so you will also receive a notification if a song is detected. We can also enhance this feature. We have the history over here. As you can see, we have quite a bit of list here, so it is a pretty cool thing to use. If you hear a cool song somewhere outside, like visiting a city or something, then you should be able to go to, for example, the now playing history in order to find these songs over here and check them out. In the sound and vibration settings, we also have an option that is called clear calling, which is recommended to use simply because it reduces the background noises during calls. So definitely a convenient tool that is worth using. We also have always on display on this phone, and in order to use it, we can go, for example, to display and touch, then over here go to lock screen, and if you scroll down, you should be able to find always show time and info. And if you enable this option, then you can enable always on a display, and it looks like this, for example. Now let's go back to display and touch, and over here, if you scroll all the way down, you should be able to find smooth display, which is the option that allows you to use up to 120 Hz of screen refresh rate. This option is actually not enabled by default, so if you wish to have a smoother experience, a smoother animations, etc., then of course it is recommended to enable smooth display over here. Now in the settings, we're gonna scroll down a little bit and go to system, and now we want to go to gestures, because over here we can find quick tap to start actions. This is a back tap gesture. With a double tap we can make something happen based on the selection over here. So you can choose to, for example, take a screenshot to toggle a flashlight or open a specific app, etc. You can also require to use stronger taps, but essentially this is how it looks like. So if you tap, let's say, somewhere over here, right next to the Google logo, then you should be able to perform the selected actions. You can see in my case, I can take a screenshot with the double back tap. I think one of the best ways to, for example, use a flashlight is by double tapping the back of the phone, so why not give it a try? You may notice that there is no pop-up view or the floating window view by default on this phone. However, there is actually a way to activate it, but it requires us to enable a developer option. Therefore, if you want to have floating windows for apps, we can go to About Phone, scroll all the way down and keep tapping on build number until you unlock developer options. After that, we're gonna go back to the system settings, and then over here we need to go to developer options. In developer options, we need to scroll down until you find an option that is called enable freeform windows. Now if we go to the background apps and if we tap on the app icon, you should be able to find freeform, and there we go, we have our floating window. So this is of course one of the main ways to actually use floating windows on this phone. And the last thing that I want to show you is the private space that we can find in security and privacy settings. Over here, if you scroll down, we have a private space. Let's verify it ourselves, and then let's press setup. The private space is like a separate environment that we can find in the app drawer. We can create a separate password for the private space, and you can also just have the same password and use the same fingerprint sensor, for example, to access that private space as well. In this case, we need to sign in to the Google account because, like I said, private space is a separate environment. It's like having a phone within the phone that is, of course, hidden. So let me actually quickly sign into my Google account. And after that, you have the option to choose a new lock or use the same password as for screen lock. In my case, I'm gonna use the same password as I use for the screen lock just for the sake of this video. However, of course, feel free to choose a separate password. Now after that, we're gonna go back to the app drawer and we can scroll all the way down in order to find this private option. We can tap on this lock over here in order to unlock our private space, and here we can install pretty much any app that we can find in the Play Store. This allows you to, well, use the private space for many things, whether it is like a secure folder where you can have completely different apps inside over here compared to apps outside of it, because in the private space, for example, if I install, let's say, WhatsApp over here, then this WhatsApp app will have completely different data than the WhatsApp app that I have outside of it. So whatever you do in the private space is separated from everything that you have outside of the private space. So like I said, it can be used as a private storage, like a secure folder to, I don't know, like store sensitive information or private apps that you don't want to have visible outside over here. It can be used as a way to just simply hide apps. It can be a way to even duplicate apps. So like I mentioned, the WhatsApp, I can have this WhatsApp over here in order to use one account, and then I can install another WhatsApp over here in order to have another account ready to go all the time. So there are lots of different options, lots of possibilities, and besides that, we can also hide this private space so that it is not visible in the app drawer. By going to the private space settings, over here we have the option to hide the private space, and if you turn this option on and if you go back to the app drawer, let's actually lock the private space, then as you can see, it is no longer there. So if you want to find the private space, we can, for example, go to the search bar at the top and we can type private space in order to open it. And of course, every time you try to open it, the password or biometric will be required. You don't have to use biometric, you can just simply use a password if you want to, and that is about it. So I think that's everything that I wanted to show you. Of course, there are probably many different things that we could also include in this video. However, I think these can be considered quite useful. However, if you feel like there was something else that wasn't mentioned in this video but it is worth mentioning, then of course feel free to share it in the comments with everyone so that everyone can enjoy the phone as much as possible and use its features. So that's about it. Thanks for watching, leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and see you in my next videos. Bye!